Hey, thanks for tuning in to the EDNP Tone Systems channel. This is the demo of the EDNP Tone Systems Flex Pro X mod for the Boss DS-1 pedal. The Flex Pro X has all the features of the Flex Pro mod, and then it adds in switch selectable overdrive, or clipping if you will, or distortion depending on your point of view. The Flex Pro and the Flex Pro X both have variable mid controls here on the left side of the pedal. This allows you to control the amount of mid frequencies prior to the tone control. Now, why did we put them in? Well, the problem with the DS-1 is it lacks mids. The circuitry itself actually pulls the mids down and attenuates them. So you have this, I don't want to say boosted, but you have bass and you have treble, but you are lacking the mids. Similar to what a metal pedal or the metal zone pedal might do, but the metal zone pedal goes over the top and pulls out almost all the mids, which is typical for a metal sound, which is fine. The DS-1 really kind of does it halfway, if you will, and then you wind up with this sound that is okay sometimes, but not always. And as you crank the gain on this thing, you start to see the lack of mids, and it lacks beef, basically. The pedal lacks beef. So what we've done is we've gone in and changed a number of the components to bring back in the mids, and then we've put the variable components here on the left-hand side that allow you to control that. And basically what you have here, this top or the forward control, is, for lack of a better term, a low-pass filter, and the one next to it is a high-pass filter. And they're centered towards the mid frequencies. And as you vary these controls, you have the ability to take this thing from having very few mids to almost a flat response. And these controls are set up after the clipping happens. So we've set up, or we've put in different components that beef up the sound as it goes into the clipping or into the distortion circuits to give much better tone, regardless of whether those controls are there or not. But then after the clipping, we've put these two controls in here to allow you to control the amount of mids that are coming out of the pedal, and it gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of the ability to model this pedal to your rig, regardless of what you're playing, regardless of whether it's single coils, double coils, humbuckers, and regardless of the amp or anything else. The other thing you'll notice here is a switch that is in there. That allows you to switch between two different types of clipping circuits. One has a germanium diode in it and gives you asymmetrical clipping. The other one has an LED in it, which also gives you asymmetrical clipping with the way we've got it set up. Vastly different sounds. The one with the LED has more volume, adds a bit more beef to the pedal. The one with the germanium adds a bit more compression, so you get a more compressed feel out of it. What we want to do here and show you today is we're going to go through and talk about how the variable controls work. I'll make some changes as we go and explain what's going on with the variable controls as we use them. We'll also bring in the two different clipping circuits so you can hear the difference between those. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to normalize the pedal a little bit, back off on the gain. I'm actually going to turn it off for a second, let you hear what clean tone sounds like, and then we'll go ahead and get into the demo of the pedal. What we're using today is a Fender American Standard Stratocaster with the noiseless pickups. We've got a Hot Rod Deluxe amp with the Warehouse Veteran 30 speaker in it. That's going into an SM57 mic, which is going to our mixing console and then into our recording equipment. So here we go with the clean tones. And this is on the neck pickup. All right, so there's clean. So let's dig into the pedal a little bit. You'll notice that I've got the variable mid controls set kind of in a V, if you will. This is bringing in some of the mids that are lacking with this pedal, but not bringing in a ton of them. I'm going to throw these things to their extremes, basically. I'm going to take them all the way out, I'm going to take them all the way in, and you'll get to hear the differences as we do that. I'm going to start with the neck pickup, work to the middle, and then to the bridge. Nice, somebody just texted me. All right, let's move to the middle. And then we'll move to the bridge. All right, so that's a fairly standard setting for the pedal on a low gain or lower gain setting. I'm going to go ahead and start working with the variable controls to kind of give you an idea of how they feel. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull all the mids out, and then I'm going to bring them back in sections. And we'll start with the neck pickup. All right, now I'm going to bring the mids in halfway. Hear how that's beefing everything up a bit. I'm going to bring them all the way in, and it's going to be a bit much, but I want to show you the flexibility that you have here. All right, so now we have basically a flat frequency response coming out of the pedal, especially with the tone control set almost to 12 o'clock. So here we go. All right, let me show you the extremes now. You've heard the flat response. Let's take all the mids out, or as far as we can take them with these controls. So you kind of get a feel now for what those things are doing for us, what those two controls are doing for us. I'm going to go ahead and move between the different pickup settings, and I'm going to change the variable controls to their maximums and their minimums so you can kind of get a feel for everything. So here we go. We're going to move to the neck pickup, and we're going to start with the mids pretty much almost out of the picture. Now we'll dial them in a bit, and you'll hear how it picks up. And we'll bring them all the way in. All right, we'll move to the bridge pickup and go the other direction. Here we go. All of the mids are in at this point. All right, we're going to bump the gain up a little bit. Pedal's going to start to take off a little bit. You'll hear a lot of creaminess get in there, and some serious overtones as we go. Again, both settings on the switch are asymmetrical clipping, so you're going to hear, again, it's going to be kind of creamy. It's going to you're going to have second order harmonics in there. It's going to sound very together, if you will. So here we go. We're going to start with the neck pickup, and we're going to roll the variable mid controls to kind of a common setting for that. We go with neck pickup. We're going to move to the middle pickup. And we'll move to the bridge. Now listen to what happens with the bridge when I bring in more mids. Here we go. It sounds a little more together. Everything, the notes are blending better together. You're not getting quite the ice pick sound that you can get out of this pedal if you don't have that control. Just feeling a little bit better. So I'm going to boost the gain even more. You're going to hear this pedal really take off at this point. We'll play with the variable controls, and you'll kind of get a feel for what's going on there. We're going to start with the neck pickup. I'm going to pull some of the mids out. This is where this pedal gets fun. We'll go ahead and switch to the middle pickup. And to the bridge. A few more mids in when we do that. All right, we're going to bring in the second clipping circuit here. You're going to hear a boost in volume, a little more clarity, and a little more well-rounded tone, if you will. And I don't mean that in that the other one is bad, but it's going to be a bit more rounded and sound a little more clear to you. So here's what it is right now with the bridge pickup, and then I'm going to flip the switch, and you'll kind of hear the differences. Back to the first position. And with the new position. Now we'll switch to the middle pickup, and I'm going to adjust the mid frequencies here. And finally to the neck, and again I'll adjust some of the mids. may have noticed a couple of things during the demo here. I really didn't touch the tone control much. That setting right there is pretty good for single coils. If you're going to use humbuckers, you're going to want to bump the tone up a bit. And again, to fit your rig, whatever works for what you're using at the time. You'll also notice that the level control, the middle control there, is down about the, 9 o'clock position, I guess, maybe a little more than that. This pedal has a significant amount of gain. I'm going to show it to you here in a second just so you can see it. Or I should say a significant amount of volume. Also has a lot of gain, too. But that's a typical setting for unity gain, if you will, between clean and distorted. But let me show you that real quick just so you can see how much gain this thing really, or level this thing really has. Again, we have neck pickup here. So it has enough volume on it that you can drive a tube amp into distortion if you want to with it. So you can do a lot of different things with it. I hope this has shown you a lot of the different capabilities of this pedal. Please come visit us at ednpllc.com. A lot more information about this pedal and the other mods that we do. You can also contact us there, send us emails, let us know what's on your mind. If you have more questions about these mods and the pedals, let us know. Happy to talk to you about it. If you have a custom mod that you're interested in that you might think would be good, love to hear that as well. We currently have 4 or 5 different mods up on the site right now and expect to add more as we go. So again, ednpllc.com. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you soon.